Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Someone wrote in and wanted to know what I thought God looked like, if I had ever personally seen God. And I have to say that, for me, God shows himself or herself many different ways. Sometimes I hear God through something that someone said to me. Sometimes I'll see God in nature. Um, I'll hear God through something my grandchildren say. I mean, there's a million different ways that God can communicate with us and does communicate with us. I feel that to explain what God looks like, I don't think our small brains can comprehend the majesty of God. I don't think God is a little man who sits in the sky. I think God is the air we breathe, the very every fiber of our being is from God. I don't think we could ever properly explain um, the greatness of this divine being who gives each and every one of us life and the gift of life and created every planet and every universe that we couldn't possibly understand all that's been created by this divine being. So, to say, what do I think he looks like? Um, I couldn't truthfully say what I believe God looks like because I don't know what God looks like. I believe, I've shared with you before that I am Roman Catholic and I am also a spiritualist. I follow both religions. And the reason being, which I've explained also, is because I was taught parochial school to communicate with God, the angels and saints. And when I would tell the priests and nuns I was able to communicate, I could see, I could hear, they would say to me, that's not good, that's not what you should be doing, even though they were teaching me to do that thing. And then as I got older and found the religion of spiritualism, the spiritualist movement, religion, um, believes and knows that we do have the ability to communicate with the other side. So for me, my belief is that the spiritualists follow Catholicism more than many Catholics do. So that's why I call myself a Catholic slash spiritualist. Okay. To get back to the question, I have to look because I got off track. What I think God looks like. I believe that for me as a Catholic, I believe that God gave us Jesus because I do very much believe in Jesus. I believe that Jesus is the Son of God. I believe that very much, and I believe God gave us Jesus so in our small brains we could relate more to a human Son of God, Jesus, and I believe that Jesus was one of the greatest gifts that we've received after the gift of life from God. So, for me, I can relate much easier to a Jesus, as many can relate much easier to Jesus, who was a man, easier than it is to relate to this divine being. But of course, in Catholicism, it's three in one, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So Jesus is God. That's my belief in my religion. So, what does God look like? I really have no idea. I just, I thank God every day for the gift of life. I completely embrace the fact that this God, this supreme being who created you and me and every person that ever was and ever will be, is a very powerful being who is filled with goodness and love and only wants the very best with us, for us. And this gift of life that we have, he gave us, or she gave us, free will to make the right choices or the wrong choices. So, I try to do the best that I can, as I'm sure, and I hope many of you do, most of you do, okay? So I hope that answers your question. I've answered it honestly in the best way that I could. It's a difficult question. And as always, I leave you in God's love and light.